achievers, welcome to the second part of the JungleScout product research series videos. Now in this series, I'm actually going to go step by step into exploring as to how do you do product research and how do you exactly use these product research tools like the JungleScout WebAPP, the JungleScout Pro extension, or even other tools such as Merchant Words, 𝐀𝐦𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 out that first Amazon FBA product to start your private label business. Alright, without any further ado, because again, like the previous video was quite long, and if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check that out before you continue watching this video. So hit that pause button. I'm gonna put a link right here. Just click on it, go to that video, watch it, give it a thumbs up of course, and subscribe to my channel, and then come back to this video and watch this video, because this is actually in continuation to the previous video. Alright, just to recap a bit, in the previous video I walked you through the entire JungleScout web app. How does it look? How does it function? What are the different filters that are available? How do you mine one product that can change your life out of the 66 million products listed on Amazon, right? Alright, without any further ado, let's get into the laptop. But before that, customary thing, let's play that intro. Sure. Alright friends, I'm gonna actually just pick up where I left off in the previous video. So if you haven't checked that out, I would advise you to check that out first. Just pause it, don't go anywhere, the link is right here. Check it out and come back to this video and continue watching it if you've got a long attention span, of course. Alright, so in the previous video we actually filtered out and drilled down and narrowed our product research to 1902 products out of the 66 million products Amazon has in its active database. Alright, so now I'm actually going to just browse through these products and tell you exactly what should you be looking for when you're just starting out and when you're just trying to find that first Amazon FBA product. Now I'm very sure a lot of people have been waiting for this video. I've got a lot of comments, a lot of queries to make videos such as this one, which can actually help you just get out of your seat and find that first product. Alright, so before we move ahead, I'm actually going to focus on one of these rows and exactly tell you what do we see here. On the leftmost side, we first see the image of the product. Alright, it's the image of the product. It's basically usually the first image of the product that is there on the listing on Amazon. Next you see the title of the product here, which is exactly as on Amazon again. Then below the title you see the ASIN code, which is basically a unique ID that Amazon gives to every product. You can always click on either on the name of the product or on the ASIN to directly go to Amazon and check this product out over there. Next, you see the category the product belongs to. Now again, we have already filtered out certain categories which we think are either too complicated or too competitive or they're gated, and you just should not even think about those ones. So that's why you wouldn't really see any of these categories which we have turned off. So don't panic if you don't see certain categories. You just have to go over here in this section and check which ones are turned on and which ones are turned off for your search results. Alright. The next attribute that this is showing you is the brand, which is basically nothing but the brand name the private label sellers are giving, such as you or me. Alright, it's not the brand name that the factory provides. It's the brand name that the sellers such as you or me are giving to Amazon to let them know that this product belongs to this brand, which is basically private labeling, which is what basically private labeling is all about. The seller attribute just displays the seller's name. Now it could be any name you give. So over here you can see the name is 𝐀𝐦𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 the Chinese suppliers selling on, the USA Amazon platform. But don't panic, this is normal, it's been happening. They're usually not that great with marketing. Some of them might be, but still, like, there's a lot of opportunity out there for everybody. Alright, Moving on, then we see the price over here. I'm just going to be highlighting the things I'm talking about. The price of the product as on Amazon now. Again, like this is the price that JungleScout has now. The price of the product obviously can change anytime when the seller actually changes it. So it will not be exactly the same all the time for all the products. But JungleScout web app keeps updating it in their backend. Next, you see the fees over here. Now the fees is basically the Amazon's FBA fees. It will be the collection of the referral fee that it might charge the seller when it is being sold at this price point, plus the FBA cost, which is the storage fee for a seller such as you or me to keep the product at Amazon's warehouse. Alright, so the fees is the sum of storage fee plus the referral fee, which would depend on the category. For example, in categories such as home and garden, toys, kitchen and dining, I think it's a flat 15% of the selling price. So for example, if you sell your product for $30, it will be 15% of $30, which is what? 15% of $13. What is it? Just put that down below in the comment. If your answer is right, you get to win a one-on-one call with me. That is it, as simple as that. And next, it's showing you the net. Now net is basically everything after reducing the fees that Amazon would charge, which would be what I just said. All right, so the net does not mean profit. The net means the net revenue per unit that you would get after deducting the Amazon fees and charges. All right, next you see the weight over here, which is the weight of the product. As Amazon knows, okay, it is as accurate as Amazon can get. Next you see the reviews and the review count, the average rating of the product and the review count, which again, like, it would depend on the search numbers that you put. As you can see over here, we have put a limit of maximum 80 reviews. So you would not see any of the products in this list having more than 80 reviews, because we have filtered the ones which have greater than 80 reviews out. Next, you see the rank of the product here. Again, this would not be 100% accurate in real time, because obviously JungleScout is updating its database in probably once a day or twice a day, but the rank of the product actually fluctuates and changes every couple of hours, because the rank directly depends on the number of sales on that day. So don't think the rank of the product is going to be constant. It's actually changing on a daily basis, even on Amazon.com. So it has a direct correlation with the number of sales the product sells that exact day or the previous day. But more or less, the rank would be the same as you see over here, unless of course the product goes out of stock, or they sell too many units, or they don't sell at all because their listing just got shut. Anything can happen. In those scenarios, the rank can just fluctuate a lot, but otherwise it's going to remain more or less what you see over here. The seller count is usually going to be 1, because you're just looking for FBA products, and usually FBA products are not something that you would see more than one seller selling on the same listing. So you would usually see this number to be 1. If it's more than 1, you should be concerned, because there can be hijackers on that listing, or it can be a little too complicated to understand. Anyways, just pick the ones which have the number 1 over there. LQS is listing quality score. Now this is a score which is only provided by JungleScout. It is a JungleScout's value proposition for you. It's not something that you see on Amazon. Amazon does not give any kind of score. Now the LQS, or the listing quality score, actually depends on certain criteria, such as your listing images. Okay, if you have all of the images or not, or if the images are good or not. JungleScout runs some algorithms and some intelligence on that to calculate this listing score. Now as you see, the listing score is 44 over here. That means it's very average, it's not that great. This ranges from 0 to 100. The higher it is, the better it is. The criteria for them calculating this listing score, as they have shared across their videos, is the listing images, the title of the product, the bullet points, the description, to some extent the pricing as well, based on the similar products, and how well have you written your keywords or how keyword rich your listing is. It'll all depend on that. So the higher it is, the better it is. The lower it is, the worse it is. So if you see something which has a listing score less or towards 0, inclined towards 0, that means you can easily improve upon that. And again, if your listing is great, if your listing has all of the right things in like all of the ingredients in the right quantity and in the right place, you're going to convert that customer. Alright folks, so the next attribute that you see over here is sales. Now the sales actually is showing you the average number of sales in the month. It's not the sales that has happened in the last 24 hours. So don't just jump off your seats and see that it's selling 740 units a day. Alright, it's not as crazy as that. It's actually the average number of estimated sales. Now I really want to stress on this word estimated, because it is what it is. It's actually being estimated. JungleScout is not Amazon's product. Alright, so JungleScout has no means to actually figure out how much a product is selling exactly. Right, they can only estimate. They're estimating this based on the rank of the product, because the rank is a direct correlation of the sales that happened on the previous day. They have some intelligence behind it, which is actually giving us this number, which again, because it's an estimate, I don't go by it blindly. I actually just follow the trend. So for example, since it's showing you that it is selling about 740 units a month on average, which would actually come down, which would actually mean that it's selling about 24 units a day on average, which conservatively I would consider it to be 15. Alright, with some error ratio. I'm not applying a direct formula over there. I'm just considering it to be 15 to be very realistic, so that I don't get my expectations too high. I set it low, and if I get more sales after I launch this particular product, if I choose to launch this product, I'm gonna be very happy with it, because it might just overperform. So that's the mindset I kind of preach, and I want you to have in your head, and that's how I look at these numbers. I just use these numbers as navigation tools. I use these tools as navigation tools. I don't just trust what it is throwing out on my face, because these things can change. These things are very dynamic. Your sales numbers, your rank, your listing quality score, the number of sellers on the listing as well. These things can actually change the next day. Alright, and they're very dynamic. But having said that, tools like JungleScout really simplify your product research process, and it just cuts your time short by weeks and months, and sometimes even years of your research, by giving you such quick access to their data, just by putting some filters over here and there, and it's just using a little bit of common sense. You can get a lot of value out of this. Alright, so it's a monthly sales average, just divided by 30, so that you can get an idea of how many is it actually selling a day. The last column that you see over here is actually the revenue. Again, I simply just ignore that, because revenue is what it is based on the price that is there right now. So I think what it's doing is basically just multiplying these two numbers. Let's just check it out right away. Right? Let's just check out as we speak. 24 times, yeah. So revenue, it's actually just multiplying the sales to the price of the product that it is having right now in the system, both of which are very dynamic, both of which can change. So I would prefer ignoring the revenue. I'm just focused on the product right now, the average number of sales that it's getting, and other attributes such as the weight, the number of reviews it has. These are the things that are important. Revenue is not important, because it's very dynamic. It's very specific to what you are going to sell, so, and what price point you're planning to sell at. For example, if you're somebody who's actually selling the same product at a very high quality with some additional value, right, such as maybe a soft case or something like that. If you're selling this at a higher value, you can actually charge $30 per unit of this product, and your revenue will be a lot different, even though you sell the same amount of units, right? So don't look at revenue. I would actually advise you to steer away from that. Just look at these specific things such as price, reviews, the rank, number of sellers, listing quality score, because that's something you can easily improve upon. and the product category, because you might just not want to sell in certain categories, right? Just because of your interests and your likings. And again, like, this is another value proposition, that if you are inclined towards a certain category, try to find a product over there first. But again, go by the math, go by the numbers, don't go by the hunch. Because I had a lot of queries from a lot of sellers who are actually just starting out in the past as well, who just start out with a product just because they think that they're very passionate about it, but it just turns out that either it's too saturated or there is not enough demand for it, and they just cannot get it to sell. And those problems can be easily avoided if you actually do your research correctly, and if you follow along to all of the information that I'm actually giving you. Alright, make some notes, always rewind, watch these product research videos a couple of times, because watching this kind of video once is just not enough. When I was doing my product research, I watched a lot of videos, a ton of videos. Most of them, I think 70% of the information in all the videos that I have ever seen was very repetitive, and my videos would also feel a lot of repetition to you, because you've probably seen a lot of videos already, but you don't have what's in my head right now. So I would really advise you to watch till the end, watch all of my videos on my channel, alright? Get that 2% out of my head in your head, and that 2% can actually make a lot of difference to those, to all of you, right? So that's my advice, and that's what I personally did, and that's what I still do, because I am still learning a lot of things from a lot of other YouTubers. And not just about Amazon FBA, about a lot of other things as well, and that 2% really makes a difference, so don't forget about that. Alright, so moving on, that was the definition of this row that you see, the listing that you see. And now I'm just going to go through this list very swiftly and show you exactly how does my brain work, what am I looking at, and what should you be looking at before we sign off this video. Alright, so now once you understand what you see in front of you, what I like to do is basically just scroll through this list, just go through this list of products and actually filter out the ones which interests me. Alright, now which ones would interest me? Which one would you click on? Like, which ones would I click on? Right? That's the biggest question. I see this 1902 products. You're asking me to scroll down this page, but tell me which one should I click on? Because nobody else is talking as clearly as I'm talking. So I want to actually go really slow over here, because I want you to not miss a point. Now I'm going to actually just talk loud, and you should listen, and you should actually listen to this again later on and make some notes later. Let me exactly tell you what am I looking at. So when I scroll through this list, and as I was doing this while I was looking for my first FBA product, right, the one thing that a lot of sellers and a lot of tutors on YouTube kept telling is for you to find a simple product. Now what does simple mean? Simple is a simple word to hear, but what does it exactly mean? Now a simple product would actually weigh light, alright? So which we have already put in as a filter over here at the top, so that we are only seeing a product which is weighing a maximum of what, 2.5 pounds. Yeah, right here. Alright, so you would not see anything above 2.5 pounds. The lighter the better, the smaller the better, if the numbers are right. So it has to weigh light. It has to be simple enough to manufacture, so that, what does that mean is basically it should not have too many parts in it. For example, let's say that something like this is catching your attention over here. It's a pair of headsets, right? Now, but this is a Bluetooth headset. Okay, it has a Bluetooth inside it. It has a battery inside it. It has these switches over here, as you can see. It has an extension option. I don't know what is it called. An extension option like that, right? So if something like this catches your attention, you should just steer away from it, because it has too many parts in it. When it has too many parts, the more parts it has, the more chances of it, having issues in the production line, because your Bluetooth can go wrong, your charging port can go wrong, your buttons can go wrong, your earbuds can go wrong, a lot of things can go wrong here, right? And they've also got an option for the cable, so 3.5mm jack, that can go wrong. A lot of things can go wrong over here. So that's what I mean by simple product. It needs to be simply manufactured. For example, now again, like this is an example, I'm just trying to get your brains working. For example, if you think you can easily sell this, although I must put a disclaimer, it is absolutely saturated, don't sell a phone cover. But if you could sell this, this is a simple to manufacture product. Why? Because it is one single unit, right? As long as the mold that the factory uses to make this product is built correctly with the right measurements, of all of these different openings, and this opening and that opening and all of the openings, and if they have measured it correctly and with precision, what can go wrong? Nothing. Once they have the die for it, once they have the mold for it, and if they start producing it, almost all of the pieces are going to come out to be similar. They might still have a 1% or 2% error rate, which is fine because that is kind of like an industry standard. It still happens. Alright, so that's what I mean by simple product. So it has to be simple, it has to be light. Alright, another criteria that I actually like to tell everybody who's starting out their Amazon FBA business or wants to start out their Amazon FBA business is to find products which are at least priced at $20. Alright, don't sell anything that's priced under $20 on average, and that is why we've already put a price limit over here, which is 21, which means that it's the list that you see over here is already filtered, right? So that already so the products that you see over here already kind of like meet your criteria of being in the right price range. So that was price range, then simple to manufacture, has to weigh light, and yes, the reviews. So it has to have as few reviews as possible, right? So as you remember, we've already put a threshold of 80 reviews, so you wouldn't really see any product over here which has more than 80 or more reviews, but you should actually pay attention to the ones which have as few reviews as possible, even with high sales numbers, average sales numbers per month. So that's too much information. I can understand that it's very complicated when you're just starting out. Let's actually just get into action. Just watch me, observe me, and rewind and watch it again if you need to. But before we continue, I would really appreciate if you've been watching till now, please take a second, like it'll just take 2 seconds, hit that thumbs up button and just subscribe, because this is the second video that I'm creating in the previous video, and I'll be creating more product research videos in the future. And like I said, that 2%, you have to grasp that 2% off my head. So you have to follow along with me. So please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and follow along. Alright guys, I just want to show you something cool that I just received from my friend who actually got this printed for me. This is my business card which I got printed for my trip to China. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people must be saying that, why do I have a picture of myself on my card? I mean, that's totally weird. I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos when people talk about themselves going to China and taking selfies with these sales agents who are standing at the booths at the Canton Fair or at the Hong Kong trade show, and it's very, very handy to have your own picture on the business card, because it'll just help them remember and recall who were you and whose handle is this exactly, and when we connect on WeChat they can just start off where I left off. They would probably remember me more by the face than by the name. I have got my WeChat ID, because that I think is the most important thing to have. I've got my email address, my phone number, and of course on the back side of the card I've got this original code that I had written a couple of months ago. So I totally believe in it, and yeah, enough storytelling. Alright, so I'm gonna actually just browse through these products and see what's simple, right? So what do I see here? 10-pack remanufactured extra high yield ink cartridges. Alright, so I will again steer away from ink cartridges because it has liquid. A lot of things can go wrong. The liquid can just become dry. The factory can give you bad products. And again, you've got different sets of colors over here. I would steer away from it. So a lot of these definitions and search criteria while you're looking at these products it's difficult to put everything into a list, a checklist, so that I can actually tell you. So I would just want you to follow along and just hear me out. I'll just talk out loud and make some notes and observe. And if you find some crucial points that I'm just giving out, put them down below in the comments, and I'll be happy to have a discussion over there. And I personally respond to each and every one of the comments. Alright, 100% pure force colon cap. Now this looks like an eatable supplement or something. Stay away from it. You cannot really start a supplement when you're just starting out, right? Double-sided color stand, $22.36. It's selling about, LQS pretty good, not that bad, 11,000 rank. Alright, so I'm gonna just open this up in a new tab. So whenever you need to open this up in a new tab, if you're on the Mac, just click on, just hold command and click on the name, or if you're on the window, just hold control and click on the name, if I remember correctly. Alright, these are similar products. So as you can see, there are 3 sellers selling similar kind of products. Oh no, so as you can see over here, QQ Studio is the seller of this product, and they are actually selling 3 of these different items. I believe there are 3 different items because you can see the ASINs are different. So these are actually 3 different listings that they have. Alright, moving on. Alright, moving on. QQ Studio again. Oh my god, they're actually ruling this kind of product. They have a bunch of these products. Matte double-sided stand-up bags. We should definitely check that out. So I'm gonna actually just open up these products over here, and we are going to check these products out, and I'm gonna actually make you understand what do I do next once I open the products which I think are quite interesting for you to pay attention to. Alright, so keep following. Again, bear with me, keep following. I understand this is a lot of information, but that's how it is. This is the least you need to do to start a business. Alright, 11x4 picture frames, 8x10 matte balls, table stand, sells 500 on average in a month, 28. It's a good price point to be at. Let's open this up. Why not? It might just happen that I'll probably find a product, but again, like, I'll have to sacrifice it because I'm making a video on it. Alright, 14. So I'm just gonna skip the ones which just don't interest me just by looking at it as well sometimes. But you can obviously look between the lines and actually go in depth in all of these products if you want, if you have the time for it. But for the sake of the video, I'm actually just going to go over this list quite swiftly. Alright, 14-piece woven cloth, towel, home and kitchen. Alright, why not? Just open it. Disposable rose gold plastic cutlery. Alright, looks interesting and easy to manufacture. Again, this is an easy to manufacture product. Air purifying bags, deodorizer, odor eliminator. Okay. What is this? Bathroom rug, sewage non-slip microfiber soft bath shower mats. $29 price point, selling about, okay, there are a bunch of these and these are different listings and all of them are approximately selling 300 or more. Alright, so pay attention here. Alright, as you can see, these are looking very similar. These are all similar products, but if you observe closely, the ASINs are different. That means that these are actually very different products, right? They're different products. They're not the same products just listed repetitively over here. And again, the seller is the same. All the products have a similar rank. All right. Okay, I believe these are variations. Now, what are variations? Variations are basically something that you see on a listing on Amazon, and they have different size options or color options. These are variations. So what we are looking at over here, and this can be misleading as well, but it's looking good right now that all of these different product listings or variations are actually selling almost equally, right? Almost equally, right? And how did I tell whether this was a variation or an individual listing? So if you look at the listing quality score, all of them have the same listing quality score. If you look at the rank, a couple of them have the same rank, a couple of them have different rank. Now this could be because JungleScout actually updated their system on different times for these 4 listings, and that is why they have different ranks, but they are supposed to have same rank. And if you see the number of reviews, they're exactly the same on all of these 4 listings. That means these are variations, and I'm just going to click on them and just verify that right away for you. So I've clicked on this listing. I'm going to go to Amazon, let it open up, and as you can see, they've got different color options over here. That's what I mean by variations, and they've got different size options as well. So which is actually good. So we're going to come back and look at this product and see if it's a good opportunity or not. Moving on. Oh, I see. So as you can see, they've got a ton of these listings. That's because they're doing a permutation and combination on this listing and just getting a lot of different child listings out of it. All right, so I'm just going to open a couple more because I'm just running out of time, and then we're actually going to move to the next phase. Alright, 6-piece bathroom accessory set. Let's open that. Seems simple enough to source and manufacture. Birthday, inch clock. I'm gonna avoid that for now because again it's electronic, a lot of things can go wrong. So it would not be my first choice when I'm looking for a product to start with my 𝐻𝐸 business with, because I just want to avoid a lot of risk. So by eliminating this product choice in my decision making process or my product selection process, I'm just minimizing my risks here. So that's what's going on in my head. How do I minimize the risk? Because when I'm starting out, I'm on a budget, right? I'm on a tight budget and I don't have a lot of money to expend and just test the market with, and just if it goes south, I'll just be okay. I will not be okay because I'm just starting out. I want to see success as small as it is. Okay, however small it is, I just want to see some success so that I can take bigger risk later on, and that's what your mindset should be. So I'm just going to avoid products which have a lot of risk involved, even though they might have great numbers and great returns on them. All right, and let's move on. I'm going to again avoid this because it's an applicant on body, on skin, so it might require special permissions and special certificates. Right, I'm going to avoid anything that's off branded. Again, remember, just follow along. I'm giving you a lot of information. I'm going to avoid everything that's branded. So if you see a brand like Adidas, Puma, Nike, Unilever, whatever it is, like if you see a brand name on the product which is already popular in the market, just don't compete with them, because they've got a lot of money to market their product and sell it at cheaper costs and all that. So you will never be able to win with them. So just avoid anything that you see with a brand name on here. Alright, so I'm going to stop here. We've already opened a bunch of products. Now I don't know if any of these are potential category. Now I don't know if any of these are actually having great potential or not. We are going to evaluate them now. So what we have done till now is actually filtered out a bunch of products out of that 66 million products that Amazon had through the web app. We drilled down and narrowed our search to 1900 products. Out of those 1900 products, we've actually just clicked upon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've actually found 7 products of interest and which matched our basic, that basic search criteria that we had in our head, which is basically it has to be light, simple to manufacture, good price point, good margin, everything. Right. So we've actually narrowed down to 7 products, and next we are going to evaluate these 7 products and see if any of them actually shows us some potential, right? But like I said, it's a lot of information already. This video I did not expect to make such a long video. Even the previous video was quite long. I believe it's a lot of information. So I would advise you to watch this video again, because you might have missed a lot of things. Get that 2% and choose that 2% out, make it 3%, get that information out of this video and into your notepad, write those notes and make those notes, just stick those notes on the wall and keep them in front of you, because this is what should be there in your head all the time, day and night, when you're trying to find products. Alright, well folks, so I hope you're enjoying the information that I'm giving you. I hope you're understanding it well. Give me feedbacks, let me know if you need me to actually change the direction, or put this information in front of you in a different way, or if it's going in the right way, and if you're getting a lot of value out of this. So I would love to hear back your feedback and your ideas and your thoughts on it. So please leave them down below in the comment. As always, you can always win a one-on-one call with me, either by putting a comment down below, subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell, or even if you use one of the affiliate links. Now if you're planning to purchase or try out JungleScout web app, I would really appreciate if you can use my link below. If you do, let me know if you did, alright? And if you did, you can directly get on a call with me. We can talk about Amazon FBA for an hour or so. So yeah, that's the best I can give you. I hope you're enjoying this series. In the next video, we're actually going to evaluate those 7 products that we have narrowed down to. And we are going to explore another interesting tool, which is an absolute must, right? Even more important than the web app of JungleScout. It is an absolute must for you to do this product research, and which is actually required in the next step. So please make sure you subscribe to my channel, you hit that notification bell so that you are notified when I create that video, and give me that thumbs up on this video and on my previous video as well if you haven't already, because that's gonna give me a lot of motivation to release that video as soon as possible, which I will do anyways, but it doesn't hurt to give me a thumbs up, right? Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying it. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, repeat everything that go through everything that I've already shared with you. Just repeat it in your head, watch the videos again and again, and just experiment. Keep experimenting, keep playing with it. Like, don't think that you can find your product immediately. Just go through the entire process, because you have to do it. Like, it'll take a month or a couple of months, but you will get there. Alright, with that, I'm gonna just sign off right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Till then, crush it, keep crushing it. Stay awake in the night, find that product, because you're just not gonna get any more sleep. Because I've given it away. Like, this is really powerful. Like, once you have this in your head, you just would want to find that product before you wanna go to your bed and just sleep peacefully. You just wanna get up, right? I understand that. Right. Enough talking. Sign off. Ciao. Right, but wait. I see a spider clinging down my lens of the camera. Give me a second.